what is going on? She's just deleted her Twitter. She's getting called out because it was exposed.
Yet, this controversy extended far beyond a single press conference or viral clip. The narrative was far more layered, involving not just isolated remarks, but a series of decisions that reveal deeper fractures within the team. Every insider account pointed to a growing tension between Clark's undeniable value and the front office's reluctance to fully acknowledge it. With the right context, the story began to reveal a complex web of influence, loyalty, and mismanagement.
I'm not joking when I say this. Something's gone weirdly wrong. Like, we literally hired a freaking...
Enter Sophie Cunningham, self-described bodyguard of Caitlin Clark, whose podcast Show Me Something became an unfiltered megaphone. Her explosive, unscripted commentary directly challenged rivals, league decisions, and even the Fever's internal culture. Sophie condemned those who minimized Clark's significance, declaring, "You're literally dumb." Not once, twice, but 3 times. Clips of her outburst went viral across YouTube, X, and TikTok. Beyond words, Sophie had a reputation for action, notably defending teammates on the court with fearless intensity. Her statements and deeds revealed that the true contention extended beyond opponents to the team's own leadership and locker room.
And I will say it again. Stephanie White, Amber Cox, Kelly Crosscroft, the Indiana Fever president, they were not ready. Now, Christine Brennan in her book confirmed the WNBA and the Indiana Fever did not realize what they were about to get themselves into with drafting Caitlin Clark, because the popularity they weren't prepared for.
Deleting social media accounts during a scandal signals pressure, and Kroskov's choice confirmed it. The infamous Apple remark spread like wildfire, with supporters accusing her of reducing Clark, the linchpin of the WNBA's rising popularity, to a mere commodity. Fans weren't just upset, they were incensed, particularly those who had invested in Fever merchandise and season tickets, believing in the team's commitment to excellence. Meanwhile, ongoing questionable officiating against Clark went largely unaddressed, deepening the frustration and casting doubt on the organization's ability to protect its most valuable player.
Stephanie White, every single solitary move that you make is going to be scrutinized.
Behind the scenes, tensions intensified. The Fever's leadership wanted to brand the team like Apple, polished, controlled, and marketable, yet they undermined the very player who embodied its appeal. Sophie Cunningham publicly challenged the hierarchy, orchestrating a calculated pushback against management decisions. The internal conflict exposed a split between those prioritizing tradition and authority versus those recognizing Clark as the team's future. The organization's inability to balance these interests revealed a brewing identity crisis, threatening the stability of both the team and its image.
I was a ref. I know I would mess up all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that your job is easy, but when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing?
You said just go tomorrow. You're on the Las Vegas Strip. What can the Las Vegas expect from Sophie?
Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna be me. I don't go in there trying to predetermine anything. I'm dialed in. I need to focus on hitting my shots, making sure I'm executing the schemes right. I'm not focused on the extracurricular activities. And you know what? During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do.
After the Fever's management took a misstep, Clark's supporters erupted. The rookie phenom, who had been drawing record crowds and boosting national viewership, was suddenly criticized by her own team president. Kroskov's comment likening Clark to an Apple product, implying the iPhone case mattered more than the iPhone itself, left fans bewildered. The remark trivialized Clark's impact, undermining her role in keeping the team relevant and profitable. Social media quickly erupted, with fans expressing outrage over the perceived disrespect. Kroskov attempted to disappear from the digital spotlight, deleting accounts in hopes the controversy would fade. But by then, the backlash had already taken hold.
Play. It was an intentional foul, and it was meant to send a message. It turned into a scuffle, and I don't think anybody wanted that. But the way that the game went and how egregious the referees were and how they were not protecting players, and they especially weren't protecting the number one player in this league, the biggest draw in this league, which is Caitlin Clark, and they continue to not do that. To me, this was not a dirty play. This was making a statement because the referees didn't do their damn job. This would not have happened at the end of the game if the referees did their job during the first play. If the referees did their job, not just the first play, every single play leading up to that. If the referees had control of the game, that is their only job. The referees' first job, their number one job, is to protect their players.
Like, I get it to a certain extent, and like every rookie coming into the league, that's how you're.
Following Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise, the Indiana Fever's leadership found itself in uncharted territory. The team president, Kelly Kroskoff, appeared increasingly rattled as criticism mounted by the hour, leaving both fans and colleagues in disbelief. Social media and press outlets amplified every misstep, turning the scrutiny into a growing firestorm that seemed impossible to contain. Clark, the star who carried the team's prominence, was now at the center of a controversy that no one could have predicted, and the organization's response only fueled the intensity.
The growth and the interest level in the franchise. I mean, this is about the Indiana Fever. Yes, we have a foundational player in Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston, and, we're going to continue to add to that. But I want this team to be the leader in the country and, a brand, an enduring brand,
Clark faced harsh treatment in games, receiving elbows, body checks, and other fouls with minimal response from referees. In high-stakes matches, such as the Fever versus Liberty game, questionable officiating consistently disadvantaged her. Fans and observers noted a clear pattern. What would be a headline-making incident in the NBA went unpunished in the WNBA. Clark's resilience and Sophie's vocal advocacy highlighted the growing imbalance, suggesting that league structures and team dynamics were actively challenging the star rather than supporting her.
Look here.
What the WNBA is doing with Caitlin Clark is the equivalent of the NBA doing this to Michael Jordan in 1986. It just doesn't make sense to me. You are biting the hand that feeds you.
Caitlin Clark's rise to prominence in the WNBA has been nothing short of meteoric. The rookie phenom has single-handedly transformed arenas into packed spectacles and made every Indiana Fever game must-watch television. Yet, behind the bright lights and soaring ratings, a storm has been quietly building. One that involves not just the on-court play, but the very structure and leadership of her team. The president of the Indiana Fever, Kelly Kroskoff, appears increasingly unsettled as criticism against the organization grows by the hour. Fans, social media users, and even league insiders are all watching with bated breath, as each new development seems to escalate the tension further. The situation escalated rapidly after Kroskoff's now infamous comment comparing Caitlin Clark to an Apple product, specifically likening her to an iPhone case rather than the device itself. This remark, intended perhaps as a quirky corporate metaphor, landed poorly with fans who saw it as a blatant dismissal of Clark's critical role in the team's success. Social media erupted almost immediately, with supporters decrying the president's comment as disrespectful and tone-deaf. Kroskoff, perhaps overwhelmed by the backlash, deleted her social media accounts, hoping the controversy would fade. But in the digital age, such actions rarely quell public outcry. The deletion only intensified scrutiny, signaling to fans that the leadership was under pressure and perhaps unwilling to confront its missteps. Into this unfolding drama stepped Sophie Cunningham, a fellow WNBA star and self-described protector of Clark. Sophie's podcast, Show Me Something, became a lightning rod for controversy when she delivered an unfiltered, passionate monologue condemning anyone who sought to diminish Clark's importance. "You're literally dumb." Not once, twice, but 3 times, Sophie declared, a line that instantly became a viral catchphrase across YouTube, X, and TikTok. Yet Sophie's influence extends beyond words. She has a history of defending teammates physically on the court, once aggressively checking a Connecticut Sun player following an incident where Clark was injured. Her presence and outspoken nature have made it clear that the conflict surrounding Clark is not limited to opponents. It permeates the Fever's internal culture and leadership as well. Clark herself has faced targeted challenges during games that would have prompted national headlines if they occurred in the NBA. She has endured elbows, body checks, and other aggressive plays with minimal intervention from referees. Observers note the stark contrast. What would be a major news story in men's professional basketball often passes unnoticed in the WNBA. In a May 24th match against the New York Liberty, Clark was repeatedly interfered with, and referees seemed to allow questionable contact to continue unchecked. Yet despite this adversity, Clark remains resilient, consistently rising to the occasion, while Sophie Cunningham uses her platform to amplify the unfairness she faces, both on and off the court. The storm isn't just about gameplay, it is fundamentally about the Fever's management and its perception of Clark's value. The team's leadership, eager to shape the Fever into a polished, marketable brand akin to Apple, paradoxically undermined the very player responsible for the team's relevance. This dissonance has revealed deep fractures within the organization. Some executives view Clark as a disruptive force, while fans and players recognize her as the central pillar of the team's present and future success. Sophie Cunningham's public challenge against the front office underscores the intensity of this internal rift, revealing a team divided between tradition, authority, and the undeniable talent of its star player. The controversy also highlights broader systemic issues in the league. Clark, like many top athletes in the WNBA, faces a double standard in officiating, media coverage, and organizational protection. While she drives ticket sales, boosts ratings, and elevates the visibility of women's basketball, the support from her own team and the league often falls short. In contrast, male athletes in similar situations would see immediate intervention, national coverage, and disciplinary measures. The lack of parity exposes ongoing inequities and has fueled widespread frustration among fans, players, and commentators. Amid this chaos, Clark remains a figure of inspiration. Her perseverance, skill, and resilience have made her a symbol not just for the Fever, but for the WNBA as a whole. Fans continue to rally behind her, creating viral campaigns and discussions that highlight her impact. Meanwhile, Sophie Cunningham's advocacy demonstrates the importance of allyship in professional sports, particularly when institutional structures fail to fully support talent. Together, Clark and Cunningham have become a formidable duo, challenging the status quo and demanding that the league recognize the value and significance of its players. The conflict unfolding in Indiana captures more than just a team dispute. It reflects a league undergoing rapid evolution. Women's professional basketball is expanding in visibility, economic opportunity, and global attention, and with that growth comes scrutiny and high stakes. The Indiana Fever's struggles illustrate the tension between old guard leadership, emerging star power, and the demands of an increasingly engaged fan base. Leadership decisions, public remarks, and social media interactions all reverberate widely, influencing both public perception and the internal cohesion of the team. As the storm continues, one thing remains certain: Caitlin Clark's influence is undeniable. She is driving change, challenging inequities, and demanding recognition for her talent and contributions. The Fever, their management, and even the league at large are being forced to adapt, whether they like it or not. In this evolving landscape, every decision, comment, and response carries weight, shaping the future of the team, the league, and professional women's basketball itself. Fans, players, and observers now wait to see how the situation unfolds. Will leadership acknowledge Clark's value? Will internal rifts be reconciled? Or will the pressure of scrutiny, criticism, and systemic inequities push the team toward further turmoil? As the story continues to develop, one thing is indisputable. Caitlin Clark is more than a player. She is a catalyst for change, a lightning rod for discussion, and a central figure in the WNBA's ongoing evolution.